Welcome to the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. We are here on the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. We're doing the North Rim to the South Rim. It's about 23 miles into the Grand Canyon, kind of through the canyon over into the South Rim. And we can see the trails actually from some of the viewpoints near the North Rim Lodge.
But before we show you the hike, let's rewind and we'll show you our experience on the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. First stop, we're parking at the backcountry office on the South Rim. This way we'll hike from the North Rim to the South Rim and then get back to our car. We're only taking our backpacks and what we need for the hike. We'll show you what we packed for our hike in the next video. From the backcountry office, we're walking over to the Bright Angel Lodge, which is where we're going to catch our shuttle to the North Rim. We took a shuttle from the South Rim to the North Rim. It was about 4.5 hours. We made a few stops along the way. We had an amazing shuttle driver. His name was Daryl. He was super sweet. He gave a lot of really good, helpful information, has traveled like all over the US, and does this as like part-time work. So definitely the shuttle was a great experience. We used Transcanyon shuttle. The cost for the shuttle, it was about $120 per person. They have a few options for timing for the shuttle too. So we took the 8 a.m. and we got to the North Rim by about 12:30 p.m. Also, they have a few spots that they can drop you off at. So the visitor center is one, the Kaibab Lodge, which is where we're staying. The Transcanyon shuttle is actually owned by Kaibab Lodge. So they drop you off right at the lodge if you need to. And then also the trailhead, which is what we're going to use in the morning to get to the North Rim trailhead. Shuttle operates seasonally from mid-May to mid-October, which aligns with the opening of the North Rim. You get some great views along the shuttle path. You get to see the changing landscape and you get to pass through the Navajo Nation. You get some great views of the plateaus as you climb higher and higher to the North Rim. We made 3 stops during the 4.5-hour drive. The first stop was a gas station where you can pick up snacks and use the restroom. The second stop was the Navajo Bridge. This was about halfway to the North Rim. This isn't a usual stop, but we only had 2 of us in the shuttle and we had some time. Here you get some stunning shots of the Colorado River. This is a great pit stop if you get the chance to check it out. After briefly stretching our legs, we're headed back on the shuttle. As you get closer to the North Rim, you notice more and more the changing landscape. The North Rim is about 1,200 feet higher in elevation than the South Rim. It sits about 8,000 feet above sea level, while the South Rim is about 7,000. The highest point on the North Rim is 8,800 feet. Our last stop before the North Rim was Jacob Lake Inn. This is about 30 minutes from our final destination and a great place to pick up some snacks or cookies. As you head to the North Rim, you pass the Kaibab Lodge, which is the closest accommodations outside of the park.
To the North Rim Lodge, but our reservations were canceled because they had a power outage, so they're still restoring power. So we're staying and another lodge about 20-25 minutes away called the Kaibab Lodge. There are a few options for lodging. So there's the North Rim Lodge, which books out a few months in advance. Usually there are cancellations, that's how we got our spot. But the lodge would be a great place to stay. It's beautiful, it's close to the trailhead. You do have to walk like 2 miles to get to the trailhead, but you can also take a shuttle. And then they have a campground that's closer actually to the trailhead. So if you're into camping, you can always stay near the trailhead. And then there was the Kaibab Lodge that we're staying at. That's about a 20-minute drive. But they also have a shuttle that starts super early. So the shuttle leaves around 4. You get to the trailhead around 4:30. We decided to have the shuttle drop us off at the visitor center for the North Rim so we could still check out the views of the North Rim. And it is stunning, great views, and the lodge is really beautiful. So we'll have to come back and stay here one year. There's panoramic kind of window views in the main lobby of the lodge. We are also still debating what pathway we will take when we do the rim to rim north to south. So they closed off the River Walk and the Silver Bridge. So we are debating going up the South Kaibab starting at around 4 p.m. So hanging out at Phantom Ranch, or kind of cutting across the Tonto and then going up and connecting to the Bright Angel Trailhead. So we haven't decided. We're thinking that we're going to get down there and see how we feel at Phantom Ranch and see if we want to hang out for a few hours and do the South Kaibab or connect over to the Tonto, depending how we feel in the heat when we get down there.
Okay, let's get back to checking out the North Rim. Sadly, with the power outage, a lot of the North Rim was closed, including the saloon. On a day when it's open, this is where you can have dinner with reservations. Given the remoteness of the North Rim, it only receives about 10% of the Grand Canyon's visitors. When we booked our lodging here, it cost about $175 per night. We were here in early June and the weather was perfect. We'll show you some of our favorite views when walking around the lodge. Sadly, the Bright Angel Point was also closed when we were here. This point is a short walk to a very popular overlook. These cabins are also part of the North Rim lodging. We took a few hours to explore the North Rim before hopping back on the shuttle to the Kaibab Lodge. It was $25 per person to get back. While heading back, the shuttle had also picked up hikers that had just completed the rim-to-rim hike. Here they had a bar and buffet-style dinner. After dinner, we headed back to our cabin to get a good night's rest. The cabin we booked was a cute, simple 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It was about $145 per night in June. One little tip would be any food, just hang it up because they do sometimes have mice or squirrels.
So we're staying over at the Kaibab Lodge, and it's very remote, very quiet. Right outside of our room, we have just the sound of birds and a whole herd of deer just grazing.
Okay, we are going to settle in for the night to get ready for tomorrow's big adventure, our rim to rim hike. Make sure to catch us on the next video as we hike rim to rim in one day.
Woke up with a t-shirt on, I'm pretty sure belongs to a stranger. Last night I know we laughed too hard, I think we spilled some drinks and tattooed some